Welcome to part 6 of the series where I show you my exact step-by-step journey to becoming a multi-millionaire and retiring early. My name is Frederick and I'm a 16-year-old dude who started with copywriting in 2024, and in today's video I'm going to give you all the updates for March with the metrics views, lives changed and money made, and some other things as well, some lessons, and without further ado, let's begin. Alright guys, everybody tells you it's so easy to make money online. You can do it for 2 weeks, you will make $1,000. I'm going to show you right now what the reality is, what you can actually expect, and I'm also going to give you the updates later on the metrics from February to March, and also some lessons, what I've actually learned in the last 2 weeks. And for some context, in case this is the first video you're watching, the most efficient use of your time will be to watch the first episode and then the second, the third, and then eventually this one. So in the video description, you'll see a link to the whole playlist of this entire, really like series, episode, whatever. And you will be able to understand everything a lot better. So check that out right now. For those who already have watched the previous episodes, let's start with the updates. So I'm going to quickly make my camera a bit smaller so that you can see more from the screen. Where have we ended off the last episode? So for some context, I started to reach out to people and I wanted to help them book appointments for themselves and then get paid per appointment. I did 200 outreaches, people were interested, I got 3 calls booked, 2 people showed up, and I closed one of them for $100 per appointment. And then I started to build the system for him already, that like all that stuff within 2 weeks, which probably sounds like what someone could actually achieve within a couple of days, but it took me 2 weeks. And I built the system and then already started to find some people, but I haven't done any outreaches. Well, a lot has happened in the time, and I'm going to start from here. So first of all, I've continued with that. I found a total of 372 leads, meaning a ton of people, which took me hours, and some days I really just sourced leads. I've not done nothing else. And I've also reached out to 350 people. And you may be wondering, okay, this is orange, but why is it crossed out? Because you're not really done, you wanted to do 1,000, which is something that I'll talk about right now. So first of all, I had 8% view rate on these, which is quite low because I'm aiming for 15 to 20%, something along those lines. And I also had 1% reply rate, like positive interested reply rate, and I'm aiming for 5% or more. So you'll see that these metrics are very bad, and this can always be the case when you're starting out, especially with outreach. The first ones you send are always bad, but not that bad. And I've also changed some things there, and it's still very bad. And what I realized then, together with my client, that the niche that we're actually targeting, which by the way was like real estate wholesalers, is actually way too small, and the people that I found were not actually qualified, and some of them didn't actually have weren't in business anymore. They did this until 2024, 2023, and then they stopped. And the problem is that it wasn't possible to find to reach out to only qualified people, and it was very difficult to qualify them at all. And so for that reason, we actually stopped reaching out to these people and started to change the niche. But what happened in that time was that at least one person actually booked a call. The person actually showed up and was qualified, and for that reason actually made money. But that was not in March, but actually this month already, so it's not going to count later in the metrics. But at least for some part it did work, and that is something that you can around expect probably when you work for 2 hours, since when I'm doing this with appointment booking, 5 weeks, 4 weeks, you can, if you really go hard and work, 7 hours a day on average, excluding Sundays, you can then expect to make $100, $200. You cannot expect to get a crazy amount of results, and this is not sexy immediately. It just doesn't happen. You can become incredibly rich, you can beat everybody else, but it will just take a ton of time. So that's something I have to tell. And we started again, but I've already built the system apart from some things with recording and everything. But it's really sure probably in a couple of days we'll already be able to start reaching out again to people. And this time it's a different niche, it's a bit bigger, the people are easier to qualify, and I just need to put in some reps. And it's not really green, it's rather orange on average, or yellow this 2 week period. But I've learned a lot, and this is something where you will profit right now, because when you're watching this, then you can pretty much save yourself from wasting 3 weeks or something. So basically everything from here to here. And yeah, also $100, but you're going to make like a lot more with different things. So what are the lessons from this period? I have to remove the box here. All right. You need the right foundations. That's very, very important. And it probably sounds very boring. You're like, well, for sure I have the right foundations. I want to make money and I will have to learn something. What I mean with foundations is that every single time in copywriting is like the amount of people knowing that is especially low. But in every sort of business, you need to have a certain niche. So people that have a problem and you want to solve that problem, and the solution of the problem is packaged into an offer. So for example, if you're a person that wants to lose fat, then my offer to you could be, okay, I'm going to help you lose, I don't know what is realistic, I will help you lose 20 kilograms in 3 to 6 months. And if it doesn't work, then you don't need to pay me, like as a fitness coach, something like that. By the way, to you Americans, 20 kilograms are about 42 pounds or something like that. Or, I don't know, whatever, about that amount. And you always need to have a specific niche, so a specific group of people that you're targeting, and you need to have a good offer for them. And as soon as you have that, it becomes very simple, because you just need to solve one problem, and if you're very good, you're going to crush everybody else that doesn't have a niche, and everybody else that has that niche but a worse offer than you, and everybody else that has an offer that's maybe better than you, but is not as good as you for actually delivering for that offer. And what's very important when you want to pick a niche is that, first of all, it's people who have money. The niche has to be growing, but if you target anything that's online, it's probably growing. And if it's something that actually interests you, it's good as well. But the most important thing is that the niche is not too general and not too small. Because when the niche is too big, everybody's saying like, yeah, when the niche is big, you have more people, you can make more money. Wrong. Because the bigger the niche is, A, you have more competition, and B, people don't think that you're actually that good. So for example, if I say, okay, I help people make money online, that's very broad, and I'm a freaking 16-year-old guy who hasn't made like even like $10,000 online. That's not crazy much. But if I, for example, if I told you, okay, I'm helping copywriters aged like 25 years or less, which is a bit stupid with like age regulations, just as an example, from Europe, then it's pretty specific. Or just copywriters from Europe, or just some specific type of copywriting. That's very important. And when it comes to copywriting, you should also, you shouldn't just have a specific niche. When you have an offer, you need a certain type of copy. The people I know who are just starting with copywriting or who are not that experienced, they just know about emails, and then they try to write emails. And yes, emails can be valuable. People like your clients can make like thousands of dollars from emails, but that's what everybody is doing. And maybe you're also thinking, well, the market is saturated. It is, but only for the copywriters who are writing emails who are trash and you don't actually understand the principles and who are not actually good at writing. So what you need to do is that you need to master 1, 2, maybe even 3 types of writing, which could be video sales letters or VSLs, sales pages, actually emails, but also things like YouTube packaging. So for example, the first 30 seconds of this video were something that I pretty quickly, and not very well probably, wrote to get your attention and to make you understand, okay, this video is actually valuable. Deep voice crack. And or for example, like every single YouTube title is copywriting. You need to have a specific thing that you offer to a specific group of people, and then the offer has to be good, meaning good outcome, as short as possible, without being unbelievable, and with the risk reversal, meaning if they don't get the result, then you don't get money. And if you think that it's a stupid idea to give someone a risk reversal, well, then you're probably just too bad at actually delivering. And that's, for example, with my offer was, you only pay me per appointment, and if I don't book your appointments, then you don't have to pay me money. But I can only offer that because I have some experience from the last couple of months for actually booking appointments. That's the first thing. The second thing is leverage. You probably already have learned of leverage. It's like being like more effective in the same amount of time, or taking less time to achieve the same thing. That's right. And what I mean with leverage is that you should only focus on the high leverage things, apart from those who you really necessarily have to do. What I mean by that is when I started to source a lot of leads, like 300 of those, I could have sourced like only half of these people, or maybe just like 200 or something like that, and in the long run made more money, because if I had focused on the actual like chain of the system, like the email, the subject line, how do the people perceive the offer, how does it resonate with these people. If I had focused on that more, which didn't take me like 10 hours probably, lead sourcing took me like 30 hours, I would have been like a lot more effective and would have made a lot more money. So you always need to focus on the things that are actually that give you an incredible outcome for the time that you put in, which are exactly things like copywriting, which is why copywriting is potentially so valuable if you have the skill. So just only spend your time on the things that you actually need to do. And the third thing is understanding the niche. What I mean by that is that every single time when you want to make money, you need to get another person to buy from you. You cannot generate money out of nothing. And in order for them to pay you, they have to believe that you can give them something that is more valuable to them than the money that they pay you. And in order to do that, you have to understand their problem and you have to understand them as a person. And for a very, very long time, the better you understand the people, the better are you going to be at making money. So, for example, when I'm now reaching out to realtors, I had to understand, okay, what type of person is a realtor? Okay, most of them live in the US. Most of them are like 40, 50 years old, maybe 30 to 50 years old. And they want to scale their business, but they don't want to hire a team. And they struggle with this, and this. And this is what they do. This is what they believe. And this is what their goals are, what their idols are, who are they watching on YouTube, for example. If you know all these things about your niche, it's going to be a lot easier to make money, because if the people know that you understand them, they just immediately trust you more, and they also, you can offer them something that actually fits better to their situation. And you also have to understand that almost nobody is doing this. Like the whole competition is like, the market is saturated. Oh, this person already got outreached by another person and they already are working with someone, which by the way can also be an excuse. And what you reached out to them with is actually just bad copy. Something like that. It's very, very important that you can do this. And this will give you, again, it's incredibly high leverage to understand your niche. So that's another thing. And it probably sucks to understand your niche, and it's a pretty hard thing to do, but this is just how business works, When you want to make a lot of money, then there are a lot of things in the way, some modes, and you have to cross them. And just because it's so hard, that's the exact reason why there are so little people making so much money, and why the money is actually valuable. If we were all making like $1 million a month, then $1 million a month would be like $3,000 a month. So these are the lessons, and now let's go over to the metrics. As a quick reminder, I'm always going to show the metrics from February to give you some like real life comparison what's actually happening within a month, because people say like, well, within a month you can get to 10k a month or some bullshit, if I'm honest. So views is the first one which I'm tracking, which is just for this little channel here. I'm not seriously trying to get calls booked or something with this channel right now. Sorry, I'm just sharing my journey. So the views. We went from 106 in February to 166 in March, which is a bit more, not a lot more, because I haven't done like crazy edited video. But at least it's another 57%, which is quite good. If I do this for another 60 months, I'm maybe at 10,000 views or something. But it's for myself, it's pretty okay. Total lives changed. This is very important. I went from 0 to 1 to really 3, because I have gotten pretty good results for the 2 other clients that I had before, like actually like real life copywriting clients. Booked them some calls, and I also, obviously, because I got results for the first client who was pretty satisfied with what I was doing before, I will also consider having changed his life, which means that I'm now pretty much at 3. And if you want to become successful in the long run, this metric should be the most important thing for you. Obviously, again, it's an outcome, and you should only focus on the actual inputs that get you to the outcome. But this is more important than how much money you make, because if you change lives, and the more you change the lives, the more value you're giving them, apart from when you're changing their lives negatively. And yeah, the more money you'll make eventually, because if people like you, because you've given them value, they're able to pay you a lot more money. Income. In February, I was at 602 euros about, and now it's actually way down. And that's just the brutal reality, because in February I got another client with $500 payment, and this month I haven't got him, but I have other people from payment plans from the months before, and yeah, hence I'm 72% down with my income, which is something that people could find quite painful, but that's just the brutal reality. I'm showing you what's actually happening if you're doing something like this. And if you set yourself high expectations, like all these YouTubers telling you like, yeah, you're going to be at 10K per month, dude, until a person on average hits 10K a month, it's going to take at least a year, maybe 3, 4, 5 years. It can take very, very long. But if you're able to do this, then you deserve 10K a month very, very well. And only someone who actually deserves it in 99.99% of cases is actually going to hit that number. So that's how it goes right now. So my income basically went from here to here, way down, like something like that. But bank account, again, went up a bit, and I'm not going to show you some crazy screenshot here because I want to have a little bit of privacy. And it went 26% up, so a little bit more, and not like crazy amount, but at least something where you can say, okay, I'm now a bit closer to the midterm goal that I have, which is making like something between 10 to 20,000 euros, and from there I can actually start to transition to a business that actually gets me somewhere. And yeah, as soon as I just have the proof of concept for surviving, and to give you like some examples here that this is actually true. These are the views, and these are the views here, and everything is going up, and the stripe is going down. So yeah, that's pretty crazy with the results. So yeah, that was it for this episode. I'm going to show you more in 2 weeks, and then in 4 weeks again as an April update on what's actually going on here. So you'll be able to see a lot more from my journey and what's actually happening. And next week you'll get another general video about some advice for business. And yeah, that's really what I can tell you right now for the last 2 weeks. And what you just have to remember, just if you want to achieve something and you're willing to actually put in work to do something, then you just have to suffer and you have to put in a lot of work. But it's so extremely worth it, because people maybe don't tell you that, but these $100 made me very, very happy in that moment, and a lot happier than if I hadn't worked, which would have given me some more instant gratification, but no progress in life. And this for me was progress in life, because the first time ever did I make money with a different business system, which yeah, was pretty cool. And now I know that it works and that I can do a lot more, because it's just a repeatable process. So yeah, when you're watching this video, stop watching it right now and start to actually do something for your real life goals. If you need more information on goal setting, timeframes and everything, just check out the other videos. I'm going to explain a lot there, and bye.